The fine line between art and objectification. Throughout history, artists have been fascinated by the human body. From ancient sculptures to Renaissance paintings, from museum collections to contemporary photography, the body has served as one of art's most enduring subjects. Yet whenever the human body appears in art, an important question often follows. Where is the line between artistic expression and objectification? The question is not new. For centuries, societies have debated how the body should be represented, who gets to represent it, and how those representations should be interpreted. What makes the discussion particularly challenging is that there is no universally accepted answer. The same image may be viewed as art by one person and objectification by another. Why does this happen? Part of the answer lies in how human beings assign meaning to images. A photograph does not arrive with a fixed interpretation attached to it. Meaning emerges through a combination of factors: the photographer's intention, the subject's participation, the context in which the image is displayed, and the perspective of the viewer. All of these elements influence how an image is understood. Objectification occurs when a person is reduced primarily to an object, stripped of individuality, agency, or humanity. Rather than being seen as a complete person, they are viewed mainly for their physical appearance or for the satisfaction of someone else's interests. In contrast, artistic representation often attempts to communicate something broader: emotion, identity, vulnerability, strength, beauty, story. The challenge is that these categories are not always easy to separate. A photograph may celebrate physical beauty while also expressing individuality. Another image may appear artistic yet unintentionally encourage objectification. The distinction is often more complex than it first appears. Context plays an enormous role. Consider a photograph displayed in a museum alongside discussions of artistic technique, history, and cultural meaning. Now imagine the same photograph presented in a completely different environment with no context at all. The image itself may not change, yet the interpretation can shift dramatically. This demonstrates how meaning is shaped not only by what we see, but by where and how we see it. The viewer also plays an important role. Every person brings personal experiences, beliefs, values, and expectations to the act of viewing. Two people may look at the same photograph and reach very different conclusions. One may focus on composition, symbolism, and artistic intent. Another may focus primarily on physical appearance. Neither viewer is completely detached from their own perspective. This is why discussions about objectification often become debates about perception as much as photography itself. For photographers, these questions carry ethical significance. Creating respectful images involves more than technical skill. It requires consideration of how subjects are represented. Are they shown as individuals with dignity and presence? Do they have agency within the creative process? Does the image communicate something beyond appearance alone? These questions do not always produce simple answers, but they encourage thoughtful practice. The conversation becomes even more important in a digital world. Photographs now travel farther and faster than ever before. Images can be shared, copied, reinterpreted, and viewed by audiences the creator never anticipated. An image originally created within one context may later appear in another. This reality makes ethical reflection increasingly important for artists and viewers alike. Perhaps the most valuable lesson is that the discussion should not begin with certainty. It should begin with curiosity. Rather than asking whether every image fits neatly into one category or another, we might ask deeper questions. What is the image communicating? How is the subject being represented? What assumptions are we bringing as viewers? What responsibilities do creators and audiences share? The line between art and objectification is rarely a single point. It is an ongoing conversation. A conversation about representation, respect, freedom, perception, and the complex ways human beings see one another. Perhaps the goal is not to find a final answer. Perhaps the goal is to keep asking better questions. Because in art, as in life, understanding often begins where certainty ends.